I have no idea who Adelphos was. He seems to have been a spiritualist who wrote a single novel, the 1912 The Revelation of Bandobast Wilderness. The name was entirely the reason I sought this out. We begin in India, where we see our main character, a young man serving in the British Army. His name is Bandobast Wilderness. Yes, really. His friends call him Wild. One day his friend Colonel Bifold sends him away with some bogus dispatches, planning that he will get killed by some bandits in a dangerous pass. Then goes to take a pass at Bandobast's wife, and she lets him. The Fakir CEO Bindukose, however, saves Bandobast and reveals all this treachery to him. The Fakir then tells Bandobast he is the new incarnation of Vishnu, while conflating Hinduism with Judaism because Brahmanism sounds like Abraham, and mentioning Buddha is imperfect in comparison to the task awaiting the British soldier. Then his enemies try to kill Bandobast with a poisoned bookmark, and by slamming a couple of trees into their bull cart. Then the book randomly switches from third person to first, not even bothering with a conceit to do so, and is now the personal diary of Bandobast Wilderness. Bandobast and the Fakir then go to the palace of the Princess Ermia, who immediately falls in love with Bandobast and he with her, but when she would have him marry her, he tells her to wait until there is no more sexual love or giving in marriage in the universe and leaves. He saves her from being eaten by some crocodiles before he does, but well, as the old saying about frying pans goes, you will see. The Fakir leads him on to a secret tunnel, and the two pass a chamber full of cobras, where a treacherous Russian met his death while pretending to be the Messiah. They are finally at the House of Life, and we see various devotees gathered round. We see one man who hangs himself on hooks jabbed into his flesh, one who stood on one leg so long the other became atrophied, or one who had shut his own mouth with a padlock. Then Bandobast is given a vision of his dead wife talking to him, cursed to live as a mangy dog, and of his colonel reduced to tree fungus. Then we finally see the spiritualist in Adelphos shine through, as he launches into a chapter of doctrinal waffle that freely conflates various world mythologies and random statements in a language which, well, let me give you an example. The circular convolutions of the brain by which he considers in spheres celestial or terrestrial, molecular, atomic or cellular. We get told in this manner about white globulin in the blood, why a gang of criminals having a ringleader is a sign of mystic significance, that light is God casting his shadow, the difference between haloin from a halo and devilin from guess what, or talking about burning one's immutable essences inside of volcanoes. The reason the Fakir is going on about this is that Bandobast has the unenviable task to somehow put all this into coherent English to spread it all over the world as gospel. Bandobast then sees what happened to Ermia when he left her. She dressed herself in magnificent wedding robes, and calling for Wild in tears, she threw herself on a burning pyre and performed sutti. Then he sees a massive conclave of his enemies from Tibet, India, China and Burma, and then the House of Life explodes due to their machinations. But Bandobast and the Fakir are unharmed, so the Fakir may go up a mountain and die anyway, and Bandobast may take with him the most sacred scroll from the House of Life to Britain in secret. The novel is fairly entertaining, except for the one bit where the Fakir goes on forever.